Hi guys, it's Catherine, and today we are doing an iZombie brain making tutorial. Ta-da! Now, if you watched the finale last night, you'll know that I already tweeted out pics of this and posted the recipe on the iZombie support group site, which is iZombiesupportgroup.com. But I thought I would make a quick tutorial to show you how my brain is done. It's actually a lot easier than I anticipated, but there are a few more ingredients than some of my other recipes. So to begin with, you're going to need Knox unflavored gelatin, or any unflavored gelatin. My sizings though are off of this brand. I then used one container, white chocolate pudding mix. You don't have to use Jell-O, but they were the only one I could find where I live. Then you need red food coloring and water and milk. Then there'll be some additional stuff for like decorating, but those are your key ingredients. The recipe itself is on iZombie support group, like I said before, but I'll be talking through everything right here. So to begin, you will need 8 packets of the unflavored gelatin. They are, I forget how many ounces are in these. That sounds awful. Yeah, no, they actually don't say. That's cool. So they are just little envelopes. I honestly don't know. I just know I used 8 of these envelopes. So you take all 8 envelopes, pop them open real quick. They just come out looking like regular Jell-O powder. They just aren't flavored, so it's just beige looking. Just opening all of them for you really quick. Doesn't take very long, but there you go. Just one more. Ugh. Stuff's super, it gets everywhere when I do it because I do it too fast. Okay, so you need the 8 packages of gelatin, which, that's most of it. Just looks regular white Jell-O-y powder. You're going to take 1 cup cold water. Yes, 1 cup cold water. Pour that into the gelatin. And put this down here in my quick and convenient throwaway area. Then I used a fork, and you just mix the gelatin up. It looks pretty gross. It's like lumpy and weird. I also really don't like gelatin, and admittedly, it smells super gross. It just does. It doesn't smell like food. It just smells like gooey gunk. Alright, so you mix it all up. It kind of looks like applesauce, which was really grossing me out a little bit because I love applesauce and hate gelatin. So once it's mostly mixed up, while that's mixed, you need to have 2 cups of water boiling on the stove. Now, I don't have a stove down here where I film, which is my bedroom, but you need 2 cups boiling water. Once that water comes to a boil, you take said boiling water, this is just hot water, and pour it into your gelatin that's been sitting around. Now, with boiling water, it dissolves a lot faster, way faster, but since this is just warm water, it's still going to be kind of lumpy. I'm going to do my best to make it look decently mixed in. So, in total, this is 3 cups of water, 8 packets of gelatin, mostly mixed up. That's as good as it's going to get. So, for this brain, you need this mixture to sit for 30 minutes. Literally time it, 30 minutes. Don't touch it, just leave it alone. You should take the fork out. Just leave it. So I didn't want to make you sit for 30 minutes while I filmed this video because that'd be really boring. And I don't really have like a stand-up routine or anything to get you through that half hour. So pretend a half hour has gone by and your kitchen timer is going off to tell you it's been a half hour. So after the half hour goes by, I'm gonna move my very Jell-O-y fork. Take 1 cup milk. I use skim milk because the internet warned that if you mixed any other kind of milk with the gelatin, the milk fat could curdle. And based on how this works, I would definitely avoid using any other kind of milk. It curdles already a little bit and it's skim milk. So 1 cup, I left my milk at room temperature, so I let it sit out. And then your packet of, yes, it's just a standard size Jell-O packet, or pudding pack. Dump that in there. Now I used a whisk when I made this normally, but since this is just a quick video, I'm just going to use my Jell-O fork. You mix it up. You need it to stay liquidy. Don't let it firm up. If it firms up, it gets really clumpy. I had that happen a couple times when I was doing tests. I tested this brain a good 6 times. Okay, that's mostly mixed up. So it needs to look pretty liquidy still. And you need to use white chocolate or a white pudding. Vanilla pudding will turn your brain orange because it's more yellow. You'll then need 4 drops of red food coloring. Just 4. My red food coloring exploded a little bit, but that looks like about 4. Use 4. 4 gives it the best color. Stir it up. Your gelatin will look kind of red, but that's good because you're adding a white product that's going to change the color to pink. So, see, it's already a little thicker than I would want it to be, but that's okay. You can get by with it being, like, thickened. You just have to stir really well. This is easier to do with a whisk, but if you don't have a whisk, you can totally use a fork. Works the same way. It really does. I use forks a lot when I bake or cook because I sometimes can't find my whisks because I'm very good at making sure everything is all put together and, like, cleaned in advance, you know. Okay, so once that's mixed up, pretty pink. I'm afraid to tip it too far to camera because of how wet it is, but it's pink. You can see it through the glass. There are lumps in it. It does happen. I wish it were avoidable, but you will get some lumps. Now I'm just moving all my trash out of the way. Now, what you're going to do is take your brainy mixture that is pink, and then you will need a brain mold. I bought this during Halloween at a Walmart, but I did some Google searching for you guys. You can buy a brain mold that looks exactly like this online on the Spirit Halloween website for $10. So if you need a brain mold, you want a brain mold right away, I would go there, order them online. They're just $10. So you take your brain mold, very carefully pour your brainy goo in there, and see, there are lumps, but it's okay. You can strain them out. You can just pour really carefully. If you don't let the pudding set too far, you won't have as many, but a lot of my ingredients are coming up to room temperature altogether, which is making it a little lumpier. So you'll now have pink in your brain mold. What you need to do is sit this in your fridge for 24 hours. Yes, 24 hours. Let it sit uncovered for the 24 hours. Then, once it's set, seriously, 24 hours is the best set time. So once it's set, what you're going to do, I'm going to move some stuff around, is, I can't show you because I don't have another brain mold, but how I loosened the mold to get the brain out was I made a bowl of lukewarm water, sat it on the counter, laid the brain mold like this. I'll show you with my kind of gross puddingy goo. I laid the brain mold in it like this, let it sit for about 15-20 seconds, and then I lifted the mold out, so the brain's still in, so you just pick it up out of the water, take it out, put it on your counter. Then I got a very sharp pointed knife. We had a bunch of steak knives, so I used one of those. Then I went around the entire edge of the brain and just lightly took the knife around the outline to separate the outer portion just a little bit from the mold. And then in all honesty, I stood over a plate and shook the dang thing until the brain fell out. So this is what your finished product will look like. Isn't that awesome? I feel like it looks TV quality. And it's really, really firm. Like, you can pick it up, you can hold it, if I can get it off this plate. Yeah, you can hold it. Woo! You can cut it, you could bite it, you can break it. I don't want to break it because it looks really nice, but you can hold it. It's really firm. It does cut. For my tests, I cut down the middle. You can also slice this literally like you would slice anything else. You can take a knife and it will cut into slices. So you could do any of Liv's recipes with a brain like this because it just cuts so well. It also doesn't taste awful, surprisingly. Even though unflavored gelatin is not that great tasting by itself, the white chocolate pudding actually gives it a sweet, desserty flavor. So while I don't like gelatin, I did like take a couple tiny bites. I did to make sure that it was okay. and it just tastes like a really lightly flavored dessert. And it's really chewy, like it chews like actual food, not like gelatin in my opinion. So besides doing this plain super awesome brain, I also did a gory brain. So a lot of the times we see Liv with brains that have stuff on them. We've seen her ice cream cone brain, which has blood on it. A lot of the promos have brains with blood on them. So this is my brain with blood. It's exactly like that brain, except I covered it with an interesting concoction that I made up. What you'll need is a can of raspberry pie filling or a jar of raspberry pie filling, and then you just sort of add as much as you want of strawberry ice cream syrup. I've used it in other recipes on here before. It's just in a squirt tube like Hershey's syrup, but it's just strawberry flavored. So what I did is I had a big bowl, I mixed them all up. Then I have too many bowls. Took it, and I literally just poured it over the top of the brain. So, ta-da! Gore. Really easy, super quick. I think this took me like 2 minutes to mix up. So there you go. That is an iZombie brain tutorial. It's easy, it's pretty cheap. It's seriously a lot easier than some of the ones I found, and it's actually edible because Jell-O and flour is disgusting. It tastes like you're eating paper mache. This at least tastes like something and won't make you gag. Unless you hate Jell-O, and then it will make you gag. But it looks so cool. Like, look at it. Look at it. It's so pretty and loamy and beautiful. So, I think that just gonna take this brain to some of my clients. I'm gonna do that. I have the cooler. It's all ready to go. See? So, I'm gonna go feed some zombies. You have an amazing day. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of nerd related things. I post iZombie related recipes on the iZombie support group site, iZombieSupportGroup.com. I write for the Nerdy Girl Express, which is thenerdygirlexpress.com. I'm on Twitter at CluffNotes. I have a blog, cluffnotes.wordpress.com. And I run the Nerdy Girl Express Snapchat, which is the Nerdy Girl EXP. Bye guys!